Hi, my name is Rain Vance, and I am a communications major at Miramar College. I used to attend Cal State San Marcos, where I also was a communications major, but after a few years of studying there, I got some job opportunities that I wanted to take hold of. And now that I've gained some real world experience and it's been a few years, I feel like I've reached my max potential without having finished my education. So now it's time to rebuild my foundation, transfer over to SDSU, and earn my bachelor's degree. I decided to become a communications major because communications is very important in our day to day life. And whether or not I have the skills in my back pocket in other realms, if I can't present myself, my ideas, or my visions well, no one's going to want to hire me. And I don't want that. The career fields that I'm most interested in would be advertising or the nonprofit sector. Advertising, to me, it's important to be someone diverse, to reach out to more diverse clients and have them know that they're seen and heard too. In the nonprofit sector, also, I want to be a voice for the people who need resources and be able to find those resources for them. Or I'd like to be on the other end where I work for an organization that provides certain services and find the people who need those services and say, hey, there's help here and we are more than with you during your difficult time. The communication skills that I believe are my strong suit would be group communication or public speaking. Public speaking, it's mostly because I'm not that shy, so I'm fine talking in front of people, even if I mess up or not. But group communication, I have done a lot of training for people in jobs, and it was always my responsibility to make sure that they understood what they needed to do to be strong, independent workers without myself or anyone else micromanaging them. And I feel as though I've done that successfully over the last several years. The thing I hope to develop this semester is skills in nonverbal communication. I have a problem sometimes where I'm not smiling enough, I'm not presentable enough in a way that people want to approach me, and I would like to fix that. I want to be also thoughtful in other people's cultures and the proximity in which I stand to them, whether I make eye contact or not, whether I extend my hand and get a handshake or go in for the hug. So I just want to take into consideration that more than Western culture exists among us, and I would like everyone to feel comfortable or that their culture is respected. So I decided to pick a TED Talk that is actually called The Danger of Silence. The Danger of Silence is actually a slam poem that's performed by Clinton Smith III, but he goes by Clint Smith. He went to Davidson College and earned his bachelor's there, and now he's at Harvard working on getting his doctorates. He works as a poet, a writer, and an activist, and he tends to look into minorities and race relations, things of that nature. So, Clint Smith did this slam poem in 2014 in which he does speak about the dangers of silence. Some examples he gave was his gaze not reaching the gaze of a homeless person who just wanted to be acknowledged, or him seeing someone who was gay getting beaten up, and instead of intervening, he put his hands in his pockets, put his head down, and walk away. The reason I chose this talk is because, especially now among COVID and the protests going on and whatnot, it's very important to look at the things that we are not saying. We can say a lot. We can say that we're for something as much as we want. But when we come into reality and look at other people and see something being done that's not okay, where do we stand in that moment of time? I believe that we're all guilty of being passive, especially through silence, and it has been detrimental to other people's health, happiness, and we all just need to step up and not be afraid to speak up and not poke for a fight, but make things learning moments. The point of the content really was to reevaluate ourselves and our situations where we may even take microaggressions where people make a joke and we laugh along with it because it's easier than to point it out and start a conversation that might be uncomfortable, or because, as Clint Smith says, you work for an organization and you need the money from the donors, so you take their backhanded compliments because it's about the money for the kids instead of thinking about their dignity and where that money's coming from to fund the things that they need. We need to be stronger in standing up and educating each other without being offended. My takeaway is to reevaluate myself and look at the things that I do on a day-to-day basis that could make a large difference in the long run. As long as I can put myself in someone else's shoes and step up for someone that needs it at the time, or teach people things that maybe they don't know that they need or want to know at the time, slowly we can understand each other and coexist a lot more peacefully and effectively. Silence is not an option during these crazy times, and I think we all need to take some time to reevaluate where we stand at this time. And instead of pulling apart from each other and arguing, we should teach each other where we all come from and learn to peacefully respect each other's beliefs, even if we disagree with them. So take the time to know that it is okay to disagree with other people and you will not get everybody to hear you, but letting malicious things slide should not be a goal of yours anymore. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys during this semester.